You're listening to the Parents of Hardworking Teens podcast, episode 104. A little bit of a rant from me about the posters and handouts that I see stuck up on walls or stuck in the back of students' exercise books, because posters do not produce skills and handouts do not create in themselves confident students. I'm Katie Jones, and with over 15 years in education as an award-winning high school teacher, international external examiner, and as a study coach, I've helped thousands of students skyrocket their results and confidence. And this podcast is where I share all my insights, tactics, and tips with you, the parent, so you can help your hardworking teen get happy, smart, and successful in their study, and have you both enjoy the journey along the way. This is the Parents of Hardworking Teens podcast. Hey VIPs, I hope you and your teens are having a great week so far. Now, warning, this episode is going to be a bit of a rant from me. I've been thinking about this for quite a while and it keeps cropping up. And as I'm recording a few podcasts here in one go so that I don't miss a week while I am moving house, setting up the internet and all of the other hassles that go along with that, then I thought this would be a good time to share this. Because here's what I see a lot in schools and with students and in lessons generally. There are posters up on the wall with things like sentence starters or command words. Now, they might be called task words or cognitive verbs. There are lots of different names for them wherever your teen is based. They might be things like paragraph structure templates, like teal or petal, that get stuck into the covers of their books. There are pages in homework diaries with things like the steps or stages of an inquiry task, or acronyms for evaluating sources. And these are all well and good. I am not against any of these things in principle. I use a lot of these things. They are not wrong. They can certainly be valuable aids when it comes to your teen's study and them fulfilling the success criteria that they're working to. My issue is that hardly any students truly understand the workings behind them. They aren't skilled in how to use them independently, where they truly understand the process or the concepts behind them. And many students have never really had any of these things fully explained to them, been trained in how to use them, where they have come from, why they work in this way. It's often more like, here you go, stick this in, this should help, or refer to the poster, or look at the handout, use the structure you've been given, follow the scaffold. And that is a little bit like giving me all the parts of a car and saying, here you go, here's the list, here's the items, now drive from Land's End to John O'Groats. You've got everything you need, you've got all the parts of the car, maybe you've even got a diagram of what it's supposed to look like, now go make it happen. When I have got no idea about car mechanics. I don't really understand how any of it actually works. But it's really worse than that in the classroom and with your teen study, because it's not quite that obvious a gap. I know that I've got no idea about car mechanics, but your teen hopefully feels like they have some idea about their study, because students have seen the posters or they've got the exam board handout with the list of command words like analyze and the definitions next to them of what they mean. And that now means that they are familiar with these things and they feel like either they should know it or they do kind of know it. Just like I drive around in a car, but I don't know how to put one together or even how it actually works. It's almost more like giving your teen a model response or an A-grade essay and then expecting them to be able to write their own top mark essay. I won't go into that specifically here. I do feel like it's a slightly different topic. I did a whole episode on why A-grade exemplars aren't all that in episode 72 here on the podcast. So you can go give that a listen afterwards if you want to. But this is an issue that I think a lot of students are just struggling through. They're guessing their way to things that are required of them with a fair degree of uncertainty along the way. They think they know what counts as an analysis rather than just an explanation because they've seen the posters 1,000 times and they have the handout of what an analytical essay is. But if they had to tell you specifically what does it mean to analyze and how do you actually do it as a student in your writing, could they do that? Could they explain that to you clearly and succinctly in their own words? And are they doing it clearly and succinctly in their work, independently and confidently? Because it's all well and good the poster defining each command, let's say, but does your team know how to dissect a question and work out for themselves, is this asking me to compare? Is this asking me to apply? Does this require an explanation or just a description? Are they able to figure those things out for themselves aside from just seeing it on a poster? Because I sometimes have students tell me, oh yeah, my school already does this. But if we dig a little bit deeper, it's more like my school displays some of this, or they gave me a handout to stick in. But do they actually get trained in these skills and strategies and concepts? Now, some students don't feel like they want to have the full training in them. They feel like they get it, and I totally understand that. I do not want to go and learn car mechanics. I just want to drive the car. But the difference here is that I am very clear that I don't know anything about car mechanics, and my success in being able to drive, let's say from Land's End to John O'Groats, does not rely on me knowing how to put the car together or how car mechanics actually work. I'm not thinking that, hey, like maybe I do know what I'm doing. Maybe I could put together that car. So I don't really have an action step for you here. I don't have a to-do or don't-do list. I just want to share a bit of awareness, what I see happening. And yes, just rant to you a little bit. It is not enough to just have posters up or handouts stuck in or acronyms to follow. Your teen needs to know, and in my opinion, needs to understand how to identify, dissect, and do these things for themselves independently, so they actually understand why and how they work, so that they can manipulate a teal paragraph to make it work better for the evidence that they have or the topic that they are discussing in that paragraph in relation to their thesis statement and the question and the way that question is worded. I want them to be able to figure this stuff out under time pressure on their own in a never seen before 8-mark question in an exam hall. And to be able to figure it out on their own at home at 9 p.m. when they're tired after footy practice but still need to get that homework done. And overall, so that they are confident and independent and skilled and not relying on teacher input or draft feedback or a little bit of luck to get to their next great result. And if there's something that your teen has been given in their study to follow or use, but they don't really know how to do it or how it works or why it is set up in that way, whatever it is, I'm really happy for you to send it to me. support@rocksolidstudy.com is the email address. And either I will email you back with some help, or I might even use it as an example or something helpful to share on the podcast. Or of course, if your teen is in the 10-week Grade Transformation Program or Next Level Coaching, definitely have them bring it to one of our coaching calls and I will work on it with them in detail. We will work on it together. Because I'm often being presented with some new and wonderful and different acronyms or steps or systems that students have been advised to use. And very often they are great. They're really useful. It's just that the students need to be properly trained in how they are using them and skilled in being able to do whatever it is effectively and knowingly, not just blindly following along. So that is my rant and my offer to help. Have a great rest of your day, and I will see you back here on the next episode of the podcast. Take care. Bye. If you're ready to have your teen achieve their best possible results with less stress, then I want to invite you to enroll them in the 10-week Grade Transformation Program, where they're going to learn the key concepts, skills, and strategies to catapult their performance in assessments and exams. It's risk-free. They either achieve bigger and better results with a whole lot more confidence in 10 weeks, or we refund you in full. Just head over to www.rocksolidstudy.com/program, and I'll see you there.